All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We got another ranked game going on. Um, we've got a 2v2 in our 2v2 tournament. We have Iwo Jima picked by Chip, which is quite the choice. Not exactly the most balanced map. It is rank red for a reason. Uh, but he wants the meme. He is getting the meme. Of course, he wouldn't play the historical either, so we got mixed up factions. It's not going to be a Japan versus USA, unfortunately. But we have Chip and Milote versus Marco and Lord Boo, also by Skittles. I believe they're playing. I mean, we'll check the factions in game. I don't remember. I was messing around with the recording software. Um, but yeah, it's going to be interesting here. I mean, these just trench line tends to be very dominative. It tends to outstretch control over the points around this area. The hill is cool, but it's pretty much irrelevant in a game like Assault Zones. Um, so we'll see how this goes exactly. Um, Certainly be interesting. They changes. Interesting. Looks like Grinch might have messed with this. Maybe the trench is not there anymore. But yeah, here we go. Let me make sure my sound is all the way up. Yes. Alright, so factions. We got Chip playing SS, Milote playing Wehrmacht, Marcos playing UK Commonwealth, and Skittles playing USA. We have Chip, interestingly, opening with Gebirgsjäger CQC, armed with a lot of MAP 38s. Milote going Volksgrenadier. Commonwealth Highlanders, and we have Skittles with one of the American Rifle Squad. Looks like it might just be armored rifles, or no, I think those are just Rifle Squad. Chip out with normal Gebirgsjägers now. Was Chip really committing this much? What is going on over here? I don't know if that's just a pathing thing or what exactly is going on. We do have a Jeep out for Marcos. But yeah, at some point that trench has been removed, I guess. Which is news to me. Shows you how much I play this map. A pretty strong hold here for the Allies. Chip way out of position. Like I said, I'm not quite sure what he is doing. I don't know if they're just trying to like give up this side, or if they're just trying to be annoying or whatnot. Oh! He almost fucking bomb launched it. If it was just over to the left a little bit, he would have gotten that Jeep. That would have been crazy. We have Schwimmwagen out for Chip to try and counter the Jeep. And Chip wins the Cardinal. Now have the WC Dodge out with the AT gun mounted, which is pretty hard counter to the Schwimmwagen. Chip, I'm not sure if he is just being cautious or if he is retreating because he hears it. The reload here in a second. 11 kills though, top leaderboard with that item. Kills fairly even actually. But Axis had managed to get into the center point a little bit. I'm still not quite sure what the plan is up here. There's a lot of guys committed up here. There's 2 there and a rifleman there, so 3 guys there. Plus those guys standing over there, so not a very wise choice, I would say, by Axis. I don't know if they're just not knowing the map or whatnot. We do have 50 cal Jeep out for Skittles, which is an interesting choice. It will, in theory, kill the Schwimmwagen, but the Schwimmwagen's already pretty much taken out. We are seeing Grenadiers out for Chip, both the heavy SS Grenadier SP by and the regular Grenadiers, as well as the 2cm. 2cm will deal with the dodge in most cases. I mean, the dodge technically does have a range advantage. Too out of the ordinary so far, besides the goofy map stuff. I mean, this definitely favors Axis a lot, being able to lay your guys down in here. I believe that is just within range of the 150, so you could technically put an MG back here, a static MG or a tank MG, and cover this. WC now trying to find a shot on the half-track. Half-track is going to have to respond to this. It's 2cm is, yeah, it's not going to be able to get the height there. Marcos has seen it by the looks of it. Or has he? This could be pretty big. That's a fairly expensive unit. Not quite within the angle. Now he's definitely seen it. Well, he said that, but he still went for the half-track. There was a pack half-track over there. Down goes WC. There's now nothing really to contest here in the middle, and it's going to pick off the 50 cal Jeep, so that 2cm absolutely clutch here, turning this point. We're seeing Anzacs up on the hill, able to snipe off a few of the Axis guys, but not enough for here really to push and kick the Axis back out. What are we seeing to respond? We're seeing a Daimler. Daimler is not something you see very often. It's being brought in to try and counter the 2cm. I guess, it does outrange it, having the 2-pounder 180 range. But if he gets within range at all, that 2cm will make quick work of the Daimler. Down goes the half-track to the Daimler. 2cm looking for the shot. He probably could have just deployed here and just fired AP. It would have broke this wall down fairly quickly. I think he's moving to engage the Anzacs on the hill, which is a mistake. He should respond, deploy this, and kill the Daimler. Daimler's now shooting at it. He's responding. Oh, and he gets a couple of pens. Hasn't killed it yet, though. So reload, and he does take it out. It is real painful for the Allies. Seeing a armored 50 cal Jeep out from Lord Boo, that's not something you see very often. Could certainly work here. Again, has to be careful with the 2cm. Chip has a lot of guys just standing around. Not exactly the best micro in this instance. We're seeing the Pack 38 Elite out for Milote. That localization needs fixed. But that should pretty much shut down any tank play for a little bit over here. The Elite Pack 38 is a sneaky little bastard. It has been used to great effect in several small games so far. Armored Jeep has to be careful. These guys do have Panzerfaust. Allies really need to push in the air. There's only one guy stopping this entire point from falling. And then they could try to sneak around in the air. And then this does become very hard for the Axis to push into in this situation. I mean, the Allies are going to have to work to get up here, but they're going to have layers of hills to sit behind for the Axis. A lot of British infantry sitting pretty far back as well. Not really contributing. Grenade launchers are doing some work here, pushing the German infantry off. We are seeing a swag hound out to counter the 2cm. He does see the 2cm. He is engaging. That is a bad angle, though. I think he realizes that. But all of Chip's German infantry get pushed up in here, screened by Kosakin garbage. 2cm does realize that's right, is trying to move in. Again, though, he's not going to have the angle in the ditch. It's working both ways here. And it saves him as well as prevents him from killing the Swaghound. So definitely worth it for the Germans there. Kill-wise, we're looking still fairly even here. 83 to 74. Fairly even on score as well. 20 millimeter is on top. Point-wise, we are 30 to 7, 6 to 4. Although that is rapidly changing. Grenade launchers going back in the other direction as far as kills. Looks pushed up here. No AT for the Allies besides the Swaghound. There is a Scott coming in. And we are seeing armored rifles and a Staghound. So a lot of armor coming out from the Allies. We'll see if that can make a difference. So the Pack 38 is over here and will have no problem killing off pretty much any tank. In fact, I'd probably be using it to snipe off the rest of this infantry. Milote has to respond, though. Looks like Allies are going to take this. Scott does get targeted down by the looks. He did get some penetrations, broke the engine. But the Scott prevails, takes out the looks. So Axis looking extremely weak on this side. Allies should definitely be pushing in here, taking full advantage of that scenario. Now we'll see if the Allies are able to push through all of this madness. Pack 38 is moving to engage. AT ammo is misplaced. Is moving it. Does get the Staghound. And gets the half-track. So Pack 38 working out beautifully there, and all the infantry is now being taken down while it's unsupported against all this dug-in infantry. .20mm pushes up, does take out the Scott. This is a MVP of a unit, but it's about to die to the Matilda. .20mm unfortunately does not have a hope in hell of dealing with the Matilda. They realize that is there and as a threat. Jaffe coming in as well now. And Swaghound should be reloaded shortly. Chip still has a lot of his SP. I wonder if he is going to save for an ace tank, sitting at 16. Quite the possibility. Skittles does not put the extra guy on to get the 50 cal use. This Jeep is so misplaced. Puma out. More Prinz Eugen. Puma, in theory, can pen the Matilda, especially with APCR, but I would not favor that matchup whatsoever. I'd probably steer clear of the Matilda and just bring it over here to try and contain some of this stuff, but it's going to be a little bit hard press. Jaffe is engaging with white phosphorus by the looks. Now it looks over here. Not a bad location, although if I were the Allies, I'd probably be trying to sneak up some AT around, or even just spotters. Getting some spotters back here would be huge. Neither team really taking advantage of that. You could technically swim all the way around the edge of the map. So neither team taking advantage of the peculiarities. Puma is engaging the Jaffe, which is a fairly even fight. I think he did get a penetration there, although no major damage by what it appears. Oh, and he gets a pen through the looks into the Puma. Axis really getting hurt in the tank battle here. But they got room to breathe and time to go, so not that big of an issue. You're seeing an MG and another... Is it another Matilda or is it the same Matilda? It's another Matilda moving over to clear out this flank. and allies are probably going to recapture this. Allies have fully cleared out this, although there are some Germans coming, though just shitty Brynzoy again. Chip has been given the Pack 38. Probably trying to kill the Matilda with it. This is a pretty good map for indirect direct fire tanks like the CS. I mean, you could sit down like over here and pretty much bully everything. Or over here. But we haven't seen any of that yet. That should start to become available. And we do see the Churchill buyout from Marcos, recently nerfed, but still in play. We'll see if that is able to turn the tide as much. Like I said, with the power of the indirect direct, I would say the Sig is probably the counter here. Although, with the way this map is, if they can get a Pack 44 up here, that would be pretty nasty. Because the Pack 44 will be able to shoot pretty much anything. No reaction of the Churchills yet, so they're not listening. Totenkopf out for Chip there. Sniper picking off a decent amount of guys. Gaffey being engaged by Pack 38. Down it goes. But Pack 38 does not really have a hope in hell of doing Churchills. I guess potentially it could, but I certainly would not bet on it. Really, Pack 38 could be pretty good here if you put it in this area with the heat rounds. Because that puts a 100-meter denial zone. Might actually be what Chip... Yep, that's exactly what Chip is going for. Although it appears that the Pack 38 is spotted, which I'm actually kind of surprised by. That is probably spotted at this point. Moving the Faust to engage the Matilda. He's probably have to come over that ridge if he wants to engage the Churchill. Matilda does go down to the Pack Pomo over here for Milote. And the Churchill CS is now trying to kill the Pack 38. Yeah, I don't know if I would have committed the Elite Pack 38. It does not get an advantage with the heat rounds, still 100 meters. Can't change physics, unfortunately. I mean, you could, but wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense. And he's within range now. Doesn't quite have the arc, though. He's now exposing himself, though. Oh, it's a or a bazooka. Now off kilter. Is the gun broken? I can't tell. There's no struck. Down it goes. That is unfortunate. Could have been a good play there. Was definitely wise thinking. Just unfortunately just out of position. I probably would have rotated around over here instead of trying to push up that ridge. Definitely need more infantry support too. But Churchills are being quite the problem. Tilda moving, maybe trying to go for the Pack Puma. Axis are halfway to winning the game, but they are down on flags now. Score still pretty goddamn even here. Seeing a Sherman out from Lord Boo as well as Swaghound coming in. Cheeky little spot from Marcos there, able to take out the looks without the Pack Puma able to do anything. Pack Puma has lost its wheels, so all you need to do is simply move outside of its arc, and there's nothing the Pack Puma can do. It's going to be kind of hard to access push in here with this armored 50 cal. You would need to bring a vehicle around or something. Especially considering the Allies control this passageway here pretty firmly. Oh, I say that, but he did get it with the Panzerfaust. Actually kind of surprised. Churchill does finish off the Pack Puma. Axis continuing to take L's as far as the armor. And more swag hounds coming in now. No officers in this point. There's an experimental test in this patch to see how not having officers affects the game. Obviously, CP was accounted for. But it generally favors the defender a little bit more because they are more likely to get the payback and they don't have to pay the cost for the officer while already in a losing position. We are seeing a Pack 44 coming in. Chip, fortunately, did not spawn connected. Chip needs to realize that and take it up. I said pretty strong. He's just got to be careful he doesn't get within range. He does realize that it was dropped. We have two of the double by Shermans outform Lord Boo. Still struggling to get in here. Pretty much the only thing that's doing work is Panzer Grenadier with the MG42. Like 44 still not picked up yet. Till tracked up on the hill, but in a otherwise safe spot. Churchills are causing quite the problem. Seeing another Puma and a Panzer IV out for the Axis. I really need to get that Pack 44 in position, although the Staghounds could certainly maraud into them. Or into it, I should say. Yeah, Allies pretty solidly ahead right now as far as positioning. Pack 44 is deployed somewhere. Up on the hill. Looks like it missed its first shot. In a little bit of a tight spot if he needs to make a getaway here, though. Although he is somewhat safe to artillery. Panzer IV does take out the other Staghound. No, this is the first Staghound. So he hit the oil barrel, and the oil barrel is stopping his shot. Somewhat unfortunate here. I don't know if Chip realizes that that's... I believe that's pretty indestructible in the game. Fortunately. Oh, I am wrong. You can pierce that with enough pierce, apparently. Downhill goes one of the Churchills. Two Shermans and a Swaghound all just chilling up here. One of the other, both other Churchills are now retreating. I would probably put a Churchill over here somewhere. It'd be relatively hard to deal with. Another Staghound does go down. Matilda now charging in. Could potentially kill a Panzer IV, but unlikely. Trying to put the radar dish between him and there. Milote not realizing that the radar dish is, in fact, impenetrable. I know that for a fact. Sherman does pick off the looks. It's like... I'm not sure if he just targeted the half-track or whatnot. They actually managed to capture the 20mm. I didn't realize that was still alive. It's a nice pickup for the Allies. Chip must have been out of range. Now he's putting the Pak-44 back into position here. This is a pretty good spot for it to sit. So Sherman brought over instead of a Churchill. Could potentially get a collateral here, although he's not exactly lined up. This is also an MP purchased Pak-44, although the SS get a Pak-43. Or no, I'm sorry, I'm mistaken. They only get the MP Pak-44. So, counter being picked out is the land mattress. Will require a direct hit to kill the Pak-44, though it can. It's a hit, but does not kill the Churchill CS. CS is moving in. Wisely, he moves out of the range. CS picks off 223. The mattress is aligned. I'm wondering if he is given it an order to fire or if it's just getting lined up. He did give it an order to fire. Looks like he will survive, although it... Oh! No! Did it get detached? I don't know if it's detached or not. If that did detach, then he's okay. Just the towing vehicle got broke. Looks like it probably did. So he got lucky there. We will also see the ace tanks here in 6 minutes. CS is moving to try and confirm the kill, but that's a pretty hard angle, and Chip's already moving to pick it up. Probably want to rotate the Pak-44 over here somewhere, would be my guess. It's just too easy for the Allies to push up into this position because of how definitively the Axis have lost this flank over here. Score-wise, still dead even, which is pretty much a testament to splitting up the players here for the game. Ended up pretty well balanced. Axis desperately trying to put pressure on this point. Storm Grenadiers lucky that they did not get targeted by the CS. Small Dog is just Squabble, he had to go. Like the other game is going. Pak-44 doing what Pak-44 does pick off that Sherman that had pushed up. do have the Allied infantry finally pushing deep into here. Pop goes another Sherman. We are seeing a Calliope out. Calliope is a very good counter to the Pack 44. And the Allies actually getting this back gap back here. The Axis have realized it pretty quickly, though. But they definitely don't want to let the Allies get a toehold here. Panzer 4 picked off something, not sure what. Down goes the CS. Just one Churchill remaining here now. Or two Churchills. I guess these two are both here. That's a Crocodile coming in new. We have an Achilles out. Interesting. I guess that's just to kill off the Panzer Horror from a relatively safe range. Axis actually controlling the majority of the points here. Just by hanging on to this some way, somehow. Oh, the Calliope got picked off before it could engage. It was a mistake there. Oh, the Calliope actually got the Pack 44, so it was a trade. I mean, that Pack 44 definitely got its money worth, so can't complain there, I would say. If I were the Allies, I'd definitely be trying to get in here. They have way too many units tied up on this flank. Pretty good angle to be dumping white phosphorus in. Probably would have stuck it right here. Although it is at risk of Panzerfaust. Does get a Panzerfaust hit on the Crocodile, but didn't do anything. Second Panzerfaust moving in. That's a penetration, but again does not go down. Some sort of damage to it. Third Panzerfaust now coming in. And does kill off the Crocodile. We do have the Ace Tiger now out, and we are seeing paratroopers in. Oh. We'll see how much of an impact they can happen here. It's weird that the smoke popped twice. I guess it kept moving. Does manage to pick off an entire squad, so worth it. And they see the Achilles as well. Swaghound auto engages with its rockets. Not the most impactful, although it did create a little bit of a distraction over here that the Axis is able to use to get into that location. Did Milote drop with paratroopers too, or did he just happen to have Bolshemakers? I'm not sure. I missed that little detail. More looks coming in. Oh, this is a veteran Tiger, so still have the A's yet to come out from Chip as well. Speaking of, there's the Ace. Veteran I always feel is a little bit of a weird buy versus the Commonwealth, since they do have very cheap 250 range tanks. And the armor is generally not good enough to shrug off 17-pounder AP. Interesting how this map has switched how it has been divided multiple times. I will say that. Presenting quite of a juicy target, although the Allies don't have particularly good rocket artillery. The Calliope is technically capable. I mean, so is the Tulip of killing these tanks, but I wouldn't bet on it. Achilles is alive. Is being targeted. But of course it does have some protection. Still about 1,300 MP to go as far as the team. Score-wise, the Axis have managed to pull ahead about 2,000 MP, or 2,000 score worth of points. And, of course, they control the majority of points, 2/3 of the way the winning, versus a little under half. Hopefully they don't accidentally shoot each other here. They now realize the Allies are going to make a play for this, but Storm Grenadiers in here are going to be pretty obnoxious to deal with for the Allies. And we have Rifle Grenadiers in the trenches on high elevation, so, yeah. More MGs out for the Allies. Tiger Ace does find the shot on the Achilles. Down it goes. Super Pershing now out for Skittles. Allies being smart, going all the way around. If you get up to here, although Chip has realized, it could be pretty disgusting. Panzer III being bought to go and support that flanking maneuver, or cancel out the flanking maneuver, I should say. But yeah, Super is a little bit overkill versus those guys, but it works. And we see Skittles spending the rest of his MP on the Marine Night Fighters. Just have realized the danger. Chip looking for a flanking shot. I don't think they realize that the Tiger Ace is over there. Humber coming in now. Allies really need to start making some plays. 7-4. The Axis positioning growing in power. Oh, and he does find the shot on the Super Pershing. Not sure what he broke exactly, but does get a penetration. Misses the second shot. Whatever was damaged on the Super Pershing is repairable. Curious to know what it was. The Allies are going to manage to sneak up here. Are they going to get the drop on the Germans, though? That's the question. Looks like they will. And Super Pershing did get finished off. Big. Next is keeping their tanks together to maximize their ability to kill something. And we're going all in on that Super Pershing play. Now seeing a Jackson out. It's going to be at a disadvantage. But yeah, like I mentioned, getting up here pretty nasty. Not impossible to deal with, though. Allies have managed to push back into this location. Allies really want to get like an elite gunner Commonwealth tank is really what they want to do. Break the tank stalemate. Chip finally responding to this Panzer III. But we're 500 MP away from the MP cap. Not sure what they're planning with that Swaghound. I mean, if the Swaghound can get real deep over here, that could potentially be a huge risk, but good playoff if they can snipe off one of the tires. Jackson now the target of much German armored fury. Both tanks looking to engage. Germans have almost re-secured this. Looks like shot was taken. This is a risky position to be. It's a little bit of piece of metal. Oh, he is very hauled down here. Doesn't quite find the shot on the Jackson. They are desperately trying, though. We have an archer moving up to get a flank shot. Would be a pretty good bait here. Just need to make sure he doesn't lose the Jackson first. Allies need to capture a point here in very short order, or they're not going to have enough time to cap. Interesting location for this Panzer III. And it works. Sherman is quite angled. Does get a pen. Night Fighters set up. However, they at the edge of their range. Was not the best engagement. Oh, and we have a crash, fortunately. So that's going to be that game. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll be seeing you in the next match.